Alright guys, we're back for another yap session. Not doing anything with the Power Stroke today, but it'll be featured in the background. So today I'm going over my winter daily and why I recommend one just like it, because leaves are falling, changing colors, so it's about time to park my truck for the year because it's like 99% rust free. So we don't drive it in the salt. It's gonna stay as clean as it is. I got a lot of big plans for it this winter, so that's my time where I've been saving everything. I'll do everything this winter, and this thing's gonna be awesome once we're done. But I need something to drive for winter, so I'll show you guys what we got. Check out this absolute dig rig on those big old jumbo with the bobs 31s. So this is a 2002 Chevy Blazer, four-wheel drive with a 4.3 in it. So I'll give you a little backstory on me. So I've owned, this is now my third S10. So one of my first cars I drove on the road was a Sonoma two-wheel drive automatic 4-cylinder single cab short bed. So that thing was a good unit, and it got me thinking that last winter I wanted a 4.3 5-speed Sonoma. So I looked for those. I couldn't find one because I was in a rush. So I got a 4-cylinder 5-speed two-wheel drive S10. That thing was awesome. So that truck no longer exists, but we're gonna use the frame for the Sonoma. So the Sonoma body exists, which used to be my grandpa's, so we're building that with a small block Chevy in it for him. So my S10, my 5-speed S10, the cab and bed and everything no longer exists, but the frame, it was less rotted than the Sonoma's frame. So my S10 frame and the Sonoma's body is what's gonna get a small block Chevy. So might have some videos on that later down the road, but right now it's just in the garage, bare frame. So it's a long ways out. But the 5-speed one I bought last winter was I don't even know how to explain it. It was a pile, but it was extremely reliable, and I pretty much ran that thing all winter, no oil pressure, just banging gears, no lift shifting it, hitting the limiter everywhere, snow drifting it.
What was that? Oh no! Oh my God, what was that?
It loved every second of it. So I knew the S10s are the way to go. I also have a buddy that's had two 4-wheel drive 4.3 ZR2 Sonomas, and I mean, let me try to paint the picture. So we have all this land, tons of land back there. You can see the dirt where we've been ripping it up, but we just take our cars out there and the rest is history. Some of them live, some of them don't, but when they go in the backyard, they're getting tested to their full potential. So I mean, this is pretty much almost a twin of what his Sonoma was last year. That's why when I saw this thing, I had to have it. It has the exact same black bullet holes. It was tan in that thing. He would have the headers glowing red out in the backyard on the limiter for like 30 minutes straight and drive it home, no problem. And that thing burned oil, he would never check it. He would check it, it'd be bone dry, and just fill it up. And that thing just lived. He took it on several 6-hour round trips, no problem. And I've had this thing for maybe a couple months now, maybe 2 months, and I've already beat the limiter in it, done a couple burnouts. So these things take abuse like no other. And I had a Suburban, and I kind of liked the SUV, so I was like, let's just downsize this, because I didn't need a small block. It was an OBS 5.7, so I didn't need that. The 4-wheel drive didn't work. It had a bunch of weird little issues, so I just ended up getting rid of it, and with the idea in mind that I was going to buy a Blazer. So either way you go, Blazer or 4-wheel drive S10 or Sonoma, either way you go, they're still just as good. So as you can see from the little walk around, this thing is absolutely cherry. This thing is straight as an arrow, no dents, no rust at all, and it doesn't even leak oil. And I can't even lie, I got roped in because this is a Trailblazer package. I'd never seen one until I saw this one on Marketplace, and I was like, this is nasty. So if you don't know, they have a couple packages. It's just like a trim level, like a Ford. You got XL, XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, whatever. So this is a Trailblazer, which was the best you can get. So we got the fancy door panels. We got leather seats with the embroidery on the headrests. These suckers are power and heated, and it works. We got the fancy auto controls, and we got a sunroof. So this thing is as fancy as it gets, I'm not gonna lie. So I wanted to get all fancy because last year my S10, also tan by the way, so we got a theme going here. Last year I had a tan S10, my buddy had a tan one, and now I got the tan Blazer. So we're keeping the theme alive. But let me paint the picture of my S10 last year. I got all this stuff now, sunroof, heated seats, and one more pretty cool thing I'll show you here in a second. But last year, all I pretty much had was a steering wheel, a shifter, a seat, and some pedals. I had no gauges besides an oil pressure gauge that, mind you, was on 0 the whole time, and I still didn't change the oil because that's just what you do in an S10. These things love it. Now we go to the back where we see all the necessities. So extra oil, little snack, jumper cables, but most importantly 12-inch sub with the amp, professionally wired. There's not even a hole in the sub, but sub was free, amp was free, and this thing will rattle the trunk. This thing slams. So that's a necessity. That's why I got the Blazer instead of like a truck. I wanted the big banging sub in here. So that's That was first order of business when I got this thing. Sub and Walmart tint all the way around. So we can get nasty in here. And I'll show you guys, I think besides the tint and the sub, this is the only other mod I did. First of all, I put LED bulbs in the headlights, but you have your low beam and then your high beam. And these come on separately, only one at a time when you turn on the headlights. So, turn the headlights on, then your low beams are on. And then when you turn your brights on, it'll switch those off and do the high beams. So, what I decided to do, turn the brights on now. We made all 4 of them suckers come on at once. So if you flash me with my low beams on, you will be sorry. I am the one who knocks. I am the sun in this thing. So that's pretty cool. And in my opinion, there's only a couple things that, there's a couple things that if I got them, then there's no reason to complain. We got heated seats, Apple CarPlay, bright lights, good music. It's got the sub. Mind you, this thing also has Scar door speakers in it because the guy who owned it before me put those in. So there is really nothing else I could want out of this thing. It's got everything. All right, now I'll tell you guys what I paid, and warning, this is why I kind of don't like to talk about it, because I overpaid for this thing by quite a bit. If it didn't need as many things as it needed, I think I would have been happy with what I paid, but I'll go over all the things that I can remember, at least, that I've had to do. So it had no sway bar on it, so I won't be able to show you because of the skid plate, but the sway bar doesn't fit because of the lift. So it being an S10, I don't really care. So I found a sway bar and we cut it right down the middle, cut 2 inches off of it, welded it back together, and now it this is the good side. It kind of fits, so that's okay. I also did an axle because both boots were ripped. So because of that, I kind of figured this thing was lean in when I got it. So the keys were cranked on this thing. So I lowered the keys down because I figured that's probably what ruined the axle. So since I lowered the keys down, it doesn't even rub the fender at all. It's really not even bad. So I also did a new steering box because the one in it was acting super weird. It was the steering was tight for a quarter turn each way, and then it would free up. It was not very confidence inspiring to drive. So I put a new pitman arm on that while I did that, and I had to do tie rods because there was a bunch of play in the tie rods. I did an output shaft seal, so that was leaking. I think that's all I can remember right now. I changed out these mirrors because both of them were broken. Had a stupid roof rack on it I took off. Yeah, I think that's majority of it. So if it didn't need all that work, I wouldn't be so upset about it. But I paid $3,500 for this unit. It was listed at $4,000. So, but mind you, this also has 150,000 miles, brand new transmission. It's got, I don't even know. I don't know what you call it, but I joke around and I say it's a built trans because it's 4L60. Supposedly, it has heavy duty clutches and like the Corvette servo and whatnot. So, I don't know. These tires are brand new. Just about. The Scar door speakers. The dude did new wheel bearings and stuff. Honestly, I can't even tell you. He's done a tune-up, but yeah, it had this mile-long list of things he did to it, but then once I kind of took it home and really got to digging into it, I kind of realized he knew how to spend money and put the parts on somewhat, but he didn't really know how to diagnose anything. So there was so much still wrong with it, but there was so much that was already replaced, and God knows what reason he replaced it, if it was even bad or not. But yeah, for a while there, this thing was a lemon, and I was very upset with my purchase. But now she's all dialed in, I'm pretty happy with it. It's fairly enjoyable to drive now that it's not clapped out somewhat. Still has no rust. But yeah, I think for $3,500, I'm gonna try to keep this thing for more than a year, hopefully, unless something goes wrong and then I feel the need to sell it, then I might. But I think it's a good unit. $3,500, I think I overpaid, but I kind of got a little overexcited, like I do when I buy vehicles. Usually when I go, I'm probably already sold on it, so. But everything happens for a reason, and this thing is now in my possession and slightly less clapped, and it's pretty enjoyable now. It's been fairly reliable as far as motor and transmission wise, but I've been through the entire front end, and I did a brake caliper in the rear while I'm thinking about it. That one of those locked up. So yeah, let me know what you think of my daily. Let me know what your daily is if you have one for winter. Feel free to try to persuade me in a different direction, but I think I have the winter daily game on lock. So, but that's all I got for this thing. Thanks for watching.